OneTake Radio, September 24th. T.I. producer Reese behind the scenes. Big week in the NFL. Patriots get off the schneid with a big victory. Niners start the season 3-0. BC football still stinks. T.I., what do you see from your Niners? Had a big win Thursday night against the Giants.
Did you watch the game?
I watched some of it. Brock Purdy looked pretty good, but he was getting a little bit of hate in the folks calling him a system quarterback afterwards.
Right. Brock Purdy is just kind of a weird name. It doesn't sound like a franchise quarterback name. Purdy's a little too close to turdy.
So I guess that's somewhat interesting out there. Producer Reese, those noises are really loud. Really loud. T.I.
Does it matter if he's in the system? Like, I don't understand what is, like, he's in the system. So I don't get that argument. Like, okay, like, I know it's not you saying it, but I just don't understand. Like, what's the point of saying that? Like, if he played for another team, he wouldn't. Well, he doesn't. He plays for the Niners. So, like, what are we even fucking talking about? Did you have to throw the Debo he made? That was sick.
I agree.
Where he put it back shoulder in the end zone, that like little fade route at your end. Debo.
Yeah, I watched the highlights after. Yeah.
Yeah, they honestly looked like shit. I didn't think they played particularly well. It was like a weird game. I don't like Thursday night football. I don't get why they do that. I would say they're gonna add an extra day. Like, just do Saturday night like a 7:00 game, like a 7 PST like primetime game. Thursday's weird. You can't game plan properly. The defense looked really good, but like Brock Purdy, the first drive like definitely looked kind of the worst I think he's looked in like the 10 games he started, but he settled back in and they just kind of no one got hurt. Right, so that's the good news, and they just got out of it. But when the Giants fucking stink, bro. They may be one of the most overrated teams in the NFL.
Sure.
But I think we'll beat up on Arizona, and then in 2 weeks we got a big one. Probably the first big game of the season. You got the Cowboys here on Sunday Night Football.
Cowboys coming off a loss today and potentially another loss next week against one of the hottest teams in all of football, the New England Patriots. How do the Niners get the outrageous amount of yaks that they do? I feel like even when they weren't as good like 6-7 years ago, they've led the league in yak for the last 6-7 years. I mean, because they had Raheem Mostert in 17-18, and even when they were like not potentially
Breida
Breida, that was the guy. Yeah. They were always just like flying around since they got down to the new stadium.
They don't. It's like the personnel they draft, right? I mean, like, we don't have like true deep. I wouldn't define Ayuk as like a true vertical. He's not Devontae Adams, right?
I mean, no one's Devontae Adams. I mean, Ayuk is pretty damn good as far as like he's not
sure.
I think like between the numbers, he's more of a between the numbers receiver from what I see, but he can still go up and get the football, man.
No, 1,000%. But like we just have never had like, well, I shouldn't say never, but like recent years we have not had like a true deep ball wide receiver, like a guy who can stretch it down the field. Really, Debo's not that, right? Ayuk really isn't that. He can do it. He can go get the ball for sure. But it just, I don't know. I guess it's the system, Dan. Hey.
No, I sympathize with that argument. It's so stupid. That's what people would always say about Brady. Like when he was winning 3 Super Bowls before he turned 30. It's like, oh, it's the system. Even though I guess maybe I'm contradicting myself because you're going to say, oh, Belichick stinks. It was all, but back then it was like, oh, it's all Belichick. Brady's just this guy that's like, and they always made like, people would just say dinking and dunking. Oh, Brock Purdy's just dinking and dunking out there. Like Brady's just dinking. It's so stupid. It's like, what are we even talking about? It's just,
figure it out.
What, and also
Brock Purdy lets it rip out there. I love that dude since last year. Like he's kind of like the prototype, and that's why I like Bailey Zappi when I saw him, because he's like a smaller framed guy. He's not like. But he's not a guy that's like getting. Some guys you can get out there and they're like, oh, they look small out there. He's like a smaller frame guy, but he's quick as shit and he fucking lets it rip. Same with Bailey Zappi. That's what I liked about him so much last year. And I think that's kind of, I mean, that's a little bit of a new type of quarterback that we haven't seen in the NFL. I mean, maybe like Russell Wilson when he first came on. Not like undersized guys per se, but guys that like. I'm saying like that could be the mold moving forward that teams kind of look for almost, instead of like when they'd be like, oh, he's like this. I don't know. Producer, he's throwing the numbers or whatever. When I'm trying to think, my brain's not necessarily working on that one. But it's like they might be looking for that as opposed to just trying to get the Drew Bledsoes of the world who are 6'6" and can throw the ball 800 yards and like 900 miles an hour and. They could be looking for those guys more. So,
but one thing I'd say there is why doesn't the system shit ever flip? Like, it's just such a dumb. What if I started saying like, oh well, like Mahomes would win 7 games on the Bears, right? Like it's a fucking it's not horseshoes. I don't understand what we're doing. It's too many people who get paid fucking too much money to talk about bullshit. I mean, just to fill the airwaves. But one thing I'll say about Purdy, I don't know if you've watched like a game like end to end, but I don't know how he's so calm. I've never once seen him get, even like when he was missing throws on Thursday, like they showed him, he's like, it's okay. He was like mouthing. It's like, the dude is just like very poised. And like he just processes the game at such a fucking fast and high level. It's pretty impressive. He's what, 23 years old, I think?
Yeah, he's a G. Jealous of that dude. I watched them play the Bucs last year when they just absolutely demolished them down in Santa Clara, and then also the divisional game, right? Or was it they played a wild card game last year, and he was like balling.
Yeah, he had a big. I
watched that game.
I was at that game.
Yeah,
and then the Cowboys game was just a slugfest. But like Dallas's defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? You know, I know our friend said it wouldn't have mattered if he played in a Philly game. I disagree with that strongly, but we'll get to see. We do play those guys regular season, December 3rd. So I'm sure that Adam will find a way to resurface, assuming that he's not incarcerated. Or
I hope so. He has been popping up on Instagram here and there. Our guy Bear, shout out Bear, we miss you, bro. Speaking of T.I.'s second favorite team, the New England Patriots, 15-10 in a bit of an ugly ball game. T.I. not as animated as he was last week. Maybe it's because he sees that the Patriots are potentially one of the preeminent teams in football right now. So
we're on to Cincinnati.
1,000% is going to shove it to fucking.
Last time Patriots went 0-2, they won a Super Bowl. So I hear what you're saying, B. Ryder. Now I'm listening. I hear you.
So fucking delusional. What did I say?
I'm just saying, Tavis.
They're not the same. How are you like being serious or is this a shit? Because if you're being serious and there's not much to discuss. Like you really like the last time they went 0-2, they won a Super Bowl. That would be like if I started talking about Joe Montana and Steve Young. Bro, those days are fucking long gone. Let me finish.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that game, but
I did. It wasn't.
It was.
Good. Are you proud? You're proud of that win? That's like kind of what it's gone to in Foxborough.
I like it, man.
15 points against the Jets.
Yeah, not the
Jets
best.
defense is good. If the Jets had a quarterback, though, they would have won that game. I mean, we could call
No,
it
seriously. Yeah, the Patriots did everything they could to give it away in the second half. They were playing not to lose, which was odd. It's just like they had a few plays in the first half where Mac was pushing the ball down the field. They had that one, long touchdown to the tight end. I didn't even know he was on the team. That number 86 Brown there. I thought they only had carried 2 tight. I thought they had 3 tight ends, but I guess now they have 4, or maybe one guy got hurt and then they brought in this Brown. Anyway, but no, that was a nice
play.
play.
He ran out of storage again.
Hold on one second. I'll be right back. God fucking damn it, dude. Why does this keep happening? Hold on.
I think you got other stuff on your... Alright, yeah. I think you just got to clear out some space.
Dang.
Quite early this time.
Credit to you, producer Reese.
All right.
There it is.
Let's. I hope that this works. But yeah, the Pats, man, like that. Well, it was raining too, right? I don't know. They had some bad weather to start the season, so
that was a factor. Missed a couple field goals. Missed a couple
the
high
second one he
snaps.
missed was fucking bad. What the fuck was that?
I mean, it was a 50-plus yard kick in the rain, and then he. It was not a great snap. So a couple high snaps from my guy Cardona there. Cardona is like. I mean, he's a Navy guy, so I don't think Belichick would ever cut him. But anywho,
is that game in Dallas next week, or is that in Foxborough?
It's in Dallas. I'm pretty sure in Dallas, October 1st. Cowboys coming off a loss. I mean, Trayvon Diggs out for the season. You don't like to see injuries, but I mean, the Patriots they just need to be more aggressive on offense. I don't know why they're playing not to lose is a little bit tough out there.
They should take a page out of McDaniel's book in Miami, dude. I feel like we need to talk about that. That was incredible.
That's the elephant in the room. I saw the score. They had 56 in the third quarter, and I was like, this is a basketball game right now. Like, what is happening? Like,
Sean Payton? Did you see Sean Payton freak out at a reporter afterwards?
No, I didn't see it. We got to clip that in, producer Reese.
What's the question? What's the question? I just finished telling you. Next question.
Yeah, I haven't. We're recording this day of 70 points in the NFL. I mean, and they could have gone for the record, right? That was the thing, that they were in field goal range at having 70, and they could have had 73, which would have broken the record. The record was 72, if I'm not mistaken, back in back in the day. But
he was pissed, man. Dude, they're good. I think it's a combo of I do think the Dolphins are actually really good. Probably the best team in that division, but the Broncos fucking suck.
Yeah. How did the Broncos get so bad so quickly? It's or how did I guess Russell he's throwing the ball a little bit more this he's throwing the ball last year, of course, but he's at least putting up some numbers if I'm not mistaken, right? He's breaking 300 yards every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened to their fucking defense. I can't say that I follow the Denver Broncos all that closely, but they're kind of one of those teams that you think of low scoring games, defense. Even last week, Washington hung 35 on them. What the fuck is going on? Sean Payton must feel like a real asshole, dude. He's about to go hit the pain pills again. I know he had a little substance issue, dude. He's gonna have to do this, take care of this, man. He's gonna have to pop some pills to get over this loss. That was really, really bad.
Yeah, I mean, that's just embarrassing. Whoops.
Imagine being a Broncos fan.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're one of those franchises. I mean, they're I don't know. They haven't been good since Peyton Manning left 2015. Then Russell Wilson came and got an outrageous contract. Yeah, he still threw for 306. The dude can still play. He's not old. But, yeah, that's been a complete kind of debacle so far in Denver there. And, yeah, the
score 70-20 is such a funny football score, dude. It's the first time it ever happened to Scoregami.
Oh, you say Scoregami?
Yeah, so whenever this is the first time there's ever been a 70-20 game.
Okay, is that what you call it when there's you call it Scoregami? Yeah. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, there's a Twitter page, but yeah, so shout out Scoregami, love those. First time ever 70-20.
Nice.
Broncos have not tweeted out the final score either. Just as of 6:30.
That's tough. Dang, and they put in Mike White at the end, too. Mike White even threw for 67 and a touchdown against the Broncos defense, huh?
Yeah, they put the backups in. They were still scoring. Yeah. Robert Griffin, do you follow him? Do you remember Robert Griffin III?
RG3, of course, yeah.
He's saying that there's bad blood between Mike McDaniels and the Broncos because the Broncos didn't give him an interview for the head coaching job. So that today was personal. It's kind of the gist of RG3's tweet. RG3 has some pretty questionable takes these days. He's worth a follow on Twitter if you don't. He says some interesting things.
He's always been kind of weird on Twitter. Yeah, he was when he was actually playing, he was the one who was subtweeting. I mean, I wasn't really in the fray. When he was on the Washington football team. Yeah, he hates Mike Shanahan. Yeah, he thinks Mike Shanahan ruined his career, but he was all yeah, that was kind of a weird situation after his rookie year. Kind of sad.
It was weird because they drafted Kirk Cousins, and it was just people forget that they were on the same team.
They drafted Kirk Cousins the same year, which is kind of wild. RG3 was second overall. Kirk Cousins in the fourth round. That was 2012, and they went 26 and 10-6 in 2012, and then he tore his ACL and came back too quickly, and then I don't know, man. All downhill from there. He's still a young guy. He's not that much older than me. He's probably 33, 34 maybe.
He was the guy who was training his girlfriend, right? Do you remember that when he put out the videos of him throwing a football through a tire or some shit with his girl? He had this home workout tape, and his girlfriend was helping him. He's trying to make a comeback, but he was sick of Baylor, man. And on that subject, I think that's a good segue into college. Did you catch the Prime train? I think he ran into a bit of a buzzsaw yesterday.
I was.
The meme with the chick from who fucked the porn star, what's her name? Lane of the Plug or whatever. They put Dion's face on her and then the Oregon Duck on the guy standing behind her. It's pretty funny. Reese, if you can find that picture, you should clip that in. It's pretty good.
As Peter Ryder would say, it's a family program, but hey, that's an interesting one. It was a beating. I did watch that one. I'm a big fan of Coach Prime. I may have blogged it sneaky after about the program. I thought I'd get a little bit of a rise after. That's right, producer Reese. Yeah, just give my take on the focus on the program over just the short term win. I was surprised that the coach Dan Lanning from up in Oregon. He was if you're just focused on the short sightedness, the win today, and getting all riled up, Dion didn't say it's not his fault that people want to talk about Colorado. It's not his fault that he's getting all this media attention if you're Deion Sanders. He's just doing his job. He didn't say anything negative about Dan Lanning or Oregon per se, and he's taking it all personal, he came in and insulted his family or something. It was to me just kind of a small like a low machismo move. He should have just kind of gone business as usual, handed out his beating like he did in Eugene, and then not made a big thing out of it. So I wasn't the biggest fan of that move from Oregon.
Yeah, Colorado's got quite the target number back for being a 1-win team last year, which I think is like pretty weird. I mean, I get how people are probably a little bit sick of like the hype, but I mean, at the same time, like the team literally won one game last year. I don't think anyone with any sense ever really thought they'd be actual contenders.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a little bit weird. The games yesterday, honestly, minus the Clemson-Florida State game, that sucked at Clemson. That was lame, but that was a great game. Went to overtime.
Yeah, they missed that.
Ohio
They missed
State
that kick.
Notre Dame
They missed the kick at the end. That was
I
brutal.
know.
That was brutal.
Motherfucker.
Sad.
Did you see the Ohio State Jesus, I almost said Oregon.
Notre Dame game? I did see that, yeah.
Did you see the last play? They only had 10 guys.
Only had 10 guys in the field, 2 plays in a row. It's great, and they still almost didn't make it. They had like their right defensive end for whatchamacallit, for Notre Dame, like wasn't even there. And they like ran right to it. They ran left, and the running back barely made it. The quarterback easily could have just pulled that and gone around for his own read, but yeah.
I have no idea how the biggest play, like, dude, Notre Dame wins that. They still have a really hard schedule, but, like, dude, I mean, like, you're in the top 4 easily.
That's a tough look for their coach. Their second-year coach, he's a sharp dude, but that's just a tough look against Ohio State in Notre Dame, in South Bend, like. And they played that game. I mean, that's kind of the theme of the weekend: playing games not to lose. I felt like I think, if I'm not mistaken, I tweeted it out. They had like a third and somewhat long, and they just handed it off at the end. I mean, it's like if you're the team that's, I don't know, you got to play to win in this life, producer Reese. You know what I'm saying, man? These teams playing it safe. It's tough out there. It's tough to see.
Yeah, they got a tough game next week too. I think they may actually lose. They got Duke on the road. Duke is fucking good this year, dude.
Duke smacked UConn. No, Duke is good every once in a while. I feel like they had that coach. I can't remember their coach that used to coach Eli and Peyton back in the day. They had some good teams. They had that epic New Year's Eve bowl game against Johnny Football in Johnny Football's last game. That was in like 2012.
That's one of the best college football games of all time.
Yeah, that was a wild one. Yeah, credit to Ti for knowing that one. Yeah, they were down like 28, weren't they? Texas A&M,
yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. I think it was like 35-7, and they came back and won. That was like when college football was starting to first play with the New Year's Eve game, and I guess they've stuck with it. I guess people are watching. I remember I watched that when I was like 19 or however old I was. Great game. Any other? Yeah, how'd you do in your picks this week? And you were 6-3 coming into the week. Jets
2-3.
Jets burned you a little bit. Yeah, tougher week for Ti. Yeah, BC burned you. BC was getting absolutely smoked playing 7-on-7 against Louisville. I mean, their quarterback could not have had more time in the pocket, and they were just throwing like just basically vertical routes in the middle of the field, which is like the easiest throw in the world for a quarterback. It isn't like if you're gonna make a quarterback beat you deep, they can beat you to the outside on the either left or the right. If you're just making lobs down the middle of the field at 40 yards, like any Division I quarterback is gonna make that all effing day, and BC was just getting burned. It was sad. Would love to see. Yeah. I think that's why B. Ryder couldn't. I think that's why B. Ryder couldn't show up today, because his Eagles gave up 7 straight touchdowns. Right? Sad. It was.
I thought they could cover 14 points. So shame on me. They sucked it.
It was 42-0 at half, dude. Did you see the end of the half? They ran the fumble Ruski. It was just embarrassing. It was like BC, at least their quarterback can move around, make some plays a little bit, which is good. They got Castellanos. They like to see it. Kind of Flutie-esque, if you will, even though B. Ryder hates Doug Flutie. But they literally, like, it was 35, I think, 7. BC kicks it off and then kicks it out. They get it out like the 25. They run the fumble Ruski, and then they get it up to BC's 40.
It looks like they're going to kneel it. Or not. A trick play to Jordan. He's got room to run and taken down.
And then they hit a bomb for a touchdown. It was like a 22-second drive. And they scored before the half. It was bananas. It's like, BC, have some pride, boys. Come on.
I was playing golf yesterday at Berkeley Country Club.
Oh.
And I fucking checked my phone on like the 16th hole. And I honestly had forgotten like what games were at what time.
Yeah.
And, like I saw what was going on in the Clemson 4-1. I'm like, okay, shit, I knew that would be tight. But I expected Boston College to, like, I don't know, 10 points.
Especially they were balling with number 3 team in the country. They didn't have 18 penalties last week. They would have won that ball game. So it's like they have a little bit of momentum, and they just come in and lay a complete egg in Louisville.
they're down like 21 fucking points or whatever, and I don't know, they suck so bad. I'm kind of mad, honestly, that Brett's out here because no one's going to be held accountable for this.
That's what I'm saying. I want to be Ryder and then on BC, and then also last thing, I love B Ryder because he's on. I love his take on the Patriots as well. Yeah, it was weird game, but I still think there's potential there. I mean, they play the two best teams. They play the two best teams in the NFL the first 2 weeks. So
if they didn't look, I would hear you, and like this is probably the calmest show we've ever had, but like they didn't look good. I wouldn't say that they looked good today against like an inferior team.
The last 2 weeks they haven't looked good. They just haven't looked good. Week one, I know you said
next week's
you said I was trying to do like a Portnoy shtick or whatever, which is like all right. But week one, I legitimately thought they looked good. I like watched the game. I was like, they look good. They just like don't know how to win yet, but they look good.
I was golfing. We play a lot of golf these days, but I just saw the score. But next week's a big measuring test.
Yeah, you're right.
Because like I don't think Dallas is as good. They lost to fucking Arizona today. I watched it. That was awesome. Thank you, Josh Dobbs. That was great.
That's wild.
I just don't. Their offense sucks. So if the Patriots defense is as advertised as you're advertising it, then I don't know. That's a winnable game.
Patriots defensive backs are like some of the best in the league. I mean, they kind of always are.
Dallas is gonna be pissed, bro. They're gonna be pissed off.
Yeah.
So it'll be a tough game.
Christian Gonzalez is outrageously good. Like he's maybe the best draft pick the Patriots have had in a while, as far as like first rounders.
He's a cornerback?
Yeah. He's the one that I mean Tyreek Hill's putting up 200 yards a game receiving. He had 40 against Christian Gonzalez and also an interception. And then he did score a touchdown, but it was on it was against the safety. It wasn't against what's his name? Against Gonzalez.
Well, you got a big. I will be rooting for the Patriots on Saturday or Sunday because I fucking hate Dallas and for seed. I'm thinking like conference seedings. We need them to start taking some L's, and the Eagles need to start losing too. I really hope that Tampa wins tomorrow.
Yeah,
I actually do think Tampa may. I think Tampa may be sneakily good. Like for that division, I was big on the Saints. Derek Carr broke his fucking collar.
Oh, did he? I saw he got hurt. I didn't know he broke his collar. That sucks.
I think so. They blew a 17-point lead with like 10 minutes left. Not great.
Not great.
I think the Saints are cooked.
Yeah.
But good show, man.
That's my last question is like who in the NFC? Because there are like, it could be like the Bucs and who's the other team that went 2-0 that's like kind of off the radar. It was the Bucs.
So I think,
and then the who else did I see? Oh, it was the Packers kind of sucked. The Lions kind of sucked. Oh, it was like the Commanders got absolutely smacked today. The Commanders are who we thought they were. So I don't know, dude. It's the Niners. The Niners conference to lose. I mean,
they need to stay healthy, and ideally they need home field because like that West to East shit is rough late in the season.
Yeah.
Especially like the last couple of years, they've been banged up and battling through that. So far, knock on wood, we're off to a really healthy start.
Yeah.
That's truly what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I mean, like they were missing their number one receiver. They still hung 30. There's just so many weapons on that team. They haven't really played great yet, and they've hung 30 every game.
Yeah.
So stay healthy and keep home field, and they should have a decent chance to be right back in the conference championship, if not the Super Bowl.
To play the Patriots in the Super Bowl, baby. Let's go.
I think the Dolphins, man.
Yeah.
That's my overreaction. I think, dude, the Dolphins look fucking really good. I like Mike McDaniels. I think he's a funny guy. Liked him in San Francisco. He's just kind of a clown. He smokes a vape on the sidelines.
Yeah, he rips that vape, man.
Yeah. Raiders are getting their ass kicked on Sunday Night Football. All is well.
All is well. All right, good stuff. T.I. playing it calm, cool, and collected today. Dang, man, it's a new one. It threw me. I always come in with like my the juice is flowing. T.I.'s just chilling today. That's fine. That's cool.
I'll be honest. I'm very hungover today.
Yeah, you had a bachelor party yesterday, or not a bachelor party, a baby shower.
Baby shower.
Yeah. Producer Reese, how we doing the points, producer Reese?
Man, I didn't keep track. But if I were to guess, Dan probably got more points. Yeah. I want to say Dan has been winning all the points like for the past 2 episodes. So
it's funny how that works.
Yeah.
Guy that pays the checks, baby. Pays the checks.
Just the way it goes. Just the way it goes, T.I.
Pays the bills around OneTake Media headquarters, man. Not really.